Welcome back, crafty friends. It's Alicia of the Call Me Crafty Al YouTube channel, and I am so glad that you joined me for my third video in my Card a Day in July series. On July 2nd, I created the first card, and then yesterday on the 3rd, to get caught up, I created these two. I will link the playlist below if you want to go watch those, and I'll pop it up in the upper right corner now. So for today's video, I will be making card number 4, and since it's the 4th of July, I decided to hold off on using Paige Evan's Project Life Kit that I've been using for these cards, and I am actually going to switch gears and create a 4th of July or a Patriotic card just to kind of celebrate the holiday. For card number 4 in the series, I am going to be using some products from ADORNit. These are products that I was sent as part of my ambassadorship packet. Now, I'm no longer on that team. It did end in July, but I still plan on using the products because I love them and they make great, quick and easy cards. So I went ahead and I pulled out some papers and I pulled out one of their paintable sheets. I don't know if I'll use all of these or if I'll add stuff in, but right now my plan is to make a card with a shaker element. So I'll be using this one here, the Stars and Stripes Forever, and we'll see how it turns out. The first thing I'm going to do is cut down the card that I want to color. I will be using colored pencils today, but the great thing about this paper, it is actually watercolor paper and it takes lots of different mediums that you can color with, but I'm just going to trim this out. And I'm just kind of eyeballing a nice even border around the outside, and then I'll measure it to kind of see where I'm at. So right now it's 2 3/4 inches tall. Let me see about the width. And 3 7/8 wide. So I think I'm just going to make that work, leave it exactly like it is. And for my coloring today, it's going to be just very basic. I'm going to use red, blue, and then yellow for the stars. I'll be using my Staedtler colored pencils. I got these at Michael's probably about a month ago, and I have yet to use them. So let's see if I can find some good colors. Usually when I colored with colored pencils, I get out my Gamsol and my blending stumps, but because the letters are so fine, I think I'll just color in the entire letter just solid with the colored pencil. My plan is to do stars in red, leave the and like it is for white, and then do stripes in blue. And I haven't decided my forever if I'll do it a solid color or if I'll do like red, white, and blue throughout. Since I'm not really sure what the layout of my card is going to look like, I'm going to go ahead and cut each of the pattern papers that I think I might use down to 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm doing this because usually that's the largest I make a pattern on the front of a card, because it leaves just a white border, or you can see the card base around the outside. And I think if I cut them down smaller, it's going to give me a better idea of what the card could look like. Now this piece of paper is only 3 1/2 inches wide, so I'll just cut it to the 5 1/4 inches long. Since my sentiment says Stars and Stripes Forever, my goal is to use the stripe and the star paper in some way on that final card. I'm going to go ahead and cut this to 2 inches tall, and that's just in half. And I'm going to go ahead and create my card base and kind of start playing with the layout on there. Sorry I had to stop my voice over there for a little bit and I stopped telling you what I was doing. My husband's putting in a new door at the top of the stairs to my craft area, and he got out the vacuum and it got a little bit too loud for me to try to talk over it. But what I did, I went ahead and I used one of my favorite border punches, the Stampin' Up! I think it was just a scallop punch, very old, probably retired, to go ahead and punch out just a blue strip to go across the center. This brought in some of the blue, and it hides the area where the two pattern papers don't actually meet up. I also grabbed out that piece of navy blue cardstock. When I make my shaker element out of my sentiment rectangle, I will adhere that at the back as a mat to that. And this was it was a great height for this piece. Now I just need to trim off a little bit of the right side. For my shaker element, I'm going to be using the clear DuraLar. It's the 3 mil, and I had previously did a little test run to see if I could make shakers with this in an earlier video, so I'll link that video below and you can get more information on the DuraLar. But basically it's just a clear acetate. I bought this off Amazon, but Michael's has it as well. So it's just been transparency weight. And that way, if you don't have a fuse tool, you can still make like a shaker. You'll see how I wrap it around the card. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to remeasure this because I forgot how big it was. 3 7/8 by 2 3/4. So I'm going to cut my DuraLar to 3 3/4 by 4 7/8. That is an inch bigger on both measurements than my sentiment card. Then I'm going to get out my Score It tool, and I'm going to score on every edge just under 1/2 inch. This is slick, so make sure you're careful when you're scoring. It wants to slip around. Might be hard to see on camera, but I have just a grid scored around the outside edges. I'm going to go in and cut each of the corners off, and I will angle it in a bit from here just so when I fold it back I don't have anything overlapping or bunching up at the corners. I'm going to go ahead and pre-fold the sides. And if you don't have a score tool, you could probably just fold this right around your card and it would be fine. And now I'm going to see how my sentiment card fits in the folded piece. Now I did leave some extra room just so I would have some space in there for the sequins. That's why when I scored it, I scored just under 1/2 inch around all edges. I'm going to adhere 3 of the back sides down. I'm leaving that 4th one open because that's how I will slip in my sequin mix. Make sure you use a good strong adhesive for this, because if you don't, it will want to come up off that plastic because it is kind of slick. That's also why I'm adding the mat. So now I just have kind of a little envelope almost, and that stars and stripe is at the back. So you'll see I have a pocket to put my sequins in. For my mix, I'm going to be putting in some kind of glittery red sequins. I got these at Michael's. They come in a 3-pack. All of the sequins are the same color, but there are 3 different sizes, and this is the smallest of those. I'm also going to throw in some stars, and this is also multi-sizes, and I'm going to get most of the smaller ones if I can. Here I just have a blue, just standard cupped sequin. And I was going to put in some stars from this mix. It's flags and red and blue stars, but I actually think I'm going to pull out some white sequins or something from that container. I have some, they're just white, kind of chunky glitter hexagons. I'm going to use that. If you have any questions on my sequin storage, I'll link the video below where I talk about that. I'm going to just slip my mix in here. And the white chunky glitter wants to stay in the cup. It is very staticky. And then you'll see I have a shaker here. I will adhere down that last side. And then I'm going to go ahead and put adhesive all around the back. I'm going to use some foam squares to adhere this to the front of the card. And I think I'll just do it diagonally just to switch it up a little bit. And there is card number 4 in my series all done. Another pretty quick and easy one. It did take just maybe a few more minutes than my previous 3 cards just because of the shaker pocket and having to create the plastic sleeve for it. But otherwise, still clean and simple, quick and easy. You could definitely recreate this. If you're enjoying this series and my video today, I hope you'll give this video a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and you would like to follow along as I create a card today, make sure to hit the subscribe button below. If you're already a regular viewer and subscriber, as always, thanks for stopping back by. You know I appreciate each and every one of you coming by video after video. If you have any questions about anything you saw today, make sure to leave those in the comments below, and I'll answer those to the best of my ability just as soon as I can. Until the next video, I hope you're all having a crafty day. Bye-bye.